Yeah, good morning, students. In the previous class, we had a discussion on structures and unions. So we differentiated the structures from the unions in terms of how the memory has to be allocated and as well as how the union members can be accessed. Now, in today's classroom discussion topic, so we are going to introduce a new topic, which is the most important topic in C language, that is the pointers concept. So now I would like to share my screen. So hope you can see my screen. So the topic for today's discussion is that this is the understanding of pointers. So which is under the fourth unit. This is a second important topic in the fourth unit. So summary of this previous classroom discussion topic, if you recap that, so we had a discussion on the structures and as well as the unions. So C language is providing the facility of nesting of the structures as well as how these nested structures can be accessed by making use of this dot operator twice. Fine. And the structures can be nested in two different ways: by separate structure defining and then by embedding the definition of the structure within another structure. So we had a discussion on union. So union is a special type of variable which is a user defined data type as similar to the structure. But here in the union, the advantage is that it will allocate the less amount of memory, but that memory is shared by all the members one at a time within the union. So to access the members of a union also, we used this dot operator as similar to this structure. So we had a discussion that structures and unions both are same, only they differ in memory allocation as well as the way how the union members will be accessed will be different from the structure members. Fine, both can be accessed using dot operators. Now the today's topic for discussion is that understanding of pointers. So the objective of this today's session is that this session will develop the students' knowledge on understanding of the pointer concept in C language. The lecture outcome is after completion of this session, students will be able to develop the code in C language using pointer concept. Then what do you mean by a pointer? So a pointer is also a variable which is used for storing of the address of another variable. So we had a discussion that already we declared a variable. For example, if you are declaring a variable as some int a, then what the compiler is going to do? So compiler is going to allocate the memory for this a. So for example, if you are taking this is the memory location which is allocated by the compiler. So generally based on this data type, so the amount of memory that is allocated will be varied. So if you take a 16-bit compiler, so 2 bytes of memory is allocated for this integer variable a. And this variable will have some associated address, memory address we are calling it as. Assume that 3500 is the memory address for this. And suppose if you are storing some int a is equal to, suppose if you are storing it as 20, so that means the value 20 is stored in this particular memory, which is allocated. Fine. So this memory will have a name associated with that. What is the name we have given here is that A is the name we have given. So this is the name associated with this memory location. Fine. So here we have three important things. So A is the name of the variable and the 20 is the value stored in this particular variable and this 3500 is the address of this particular variable A. So these are the three important things: name, value, address. These three important things are associated with each and every variable declaration what we will do within the program. Fine. Now here, if I want to know the address of this variable A, okay, so that is nothing but what we are calling it as a pointer. So a pointer is a variable which you can store the address of this A. So anyone can tell me what is the address we assumed here? Yes, 3500 is the address, memory address allocated for this A. So the address you can store, this address of A you can store in another variable. Just like A, So you can store the address of this variable a in another variable. For example, this ptr is a variable which we are taking to store the address of a, which is nothing but 3500 in this particular memory location. So this is what the memory address of a you are storing into this variable ptr. So this ptr variable is called it as a pointer variable. Okay, so it will also have some address. Assume that ptr is having some address 4000. Fine. So this also occupies memory. Then how do we declare this ptr variable? So we can declare this ptr variable like this. So data type, and then we have to use the star operator to declare this particular variable. So star PTR. So this is what we are calling it as the PTR is a variable which is called it as a pointer variable. Fine. So this is what the basic concept of the pointer is. And for example, if you are using a equal to a minus 10, then this value of a is going to be reduced by 10. Fine. So if you initialize the a with 30, then it is going to reduce it by 10. Then there are two important operators that are associated with the pointers. So we can use one important operator is ampersand operator, which is used for storing the knowing the address of that particular variable. Just you can write like this: printf percentage d ampersand a. So it is going to print the address. So what is that address? So you are going to get the address of a, which is allocated is nothing but 3500. Fine. So another important operator is a star, so which is called it as a pointer indirection operator. So it is used to get the value stored at that memory location. So that means if I want to get the value 20, so you can get the value just by using a, you can get variable name itself. Or if you want to get the value stored in this 3500 memory location, you can also get the value by writing the pointer indirection operator like this: printf percentage d ampersand a gives the address, and then star before that will gives you the value stored this particular memory location. So this is the indirect way of accessing the value stored in this particular memory location a. So now directly you can access it as just printf. You can write it as with printf simply percentage d comma a. If you write it as you can able to access the value stored in this particular variable a. So this is a direct way of accessing that value stored in this a. And this is the using pointer, you are indirectly accessing the value stored at this particular memory location. This is the indirect way of accessing that value. Fine. So this is how you can access the variable pointer variable value. So in this particular example, it shows that we are declaring a equal to 20, b equal to 15, and star p1 is a pointer variable and star p2 is another pointer variable of integer type. You are storing address of a into p2. So this is what we are calling it as declaration and initialization of pointer variable p2 in a single statement. So this is a declaration of a pointer variable just, but in p1 we have not stored any variable address. Fine. So now here we want to store the address of p in p1. So you can write like this: p1 equal to ampersand a, and you can print the value of variable a just simply by making use of a. Address of a you can print using the ampersand operator ampersand a. Address of b you can print using ampersand b. And if you want to get the value through the pointer variable, you can make use of this p1, and then if you want to get the value of b, so you can give it a star p1 and then star ampersand of p. So these are the different ways of accessing the value stored in b variable. Fine. So this is an example program demonstrating how we can access these pointers by making use of this star and dot operators. Fine. Ampersand operator. Fine. So please try to execute this program and understand how the concept of pointers are used. So this is an you can declare a pointer variable of any type here. So here in this example, PTR is a float pointer which is used to store the address of a float variable, and this P1 is a character pointer which is used to store the address of a character variable. So like this, you can declare any pointer type. You can declare as basic data type. What we have using that. Fine. So what are the benefits of using pointers in C? So pointers are more efficient in handling arrays as well as structures in C language. And pointers allows references to functions and thereby helps in passing of functions as arguments to another functions. So this is very important here. So you can pass functions as arguments to another functions by making use of this pointer concept. And pointers also provides a means by which functions in C can change its calling arguments. So that is a call by reference we can achieve through the pointers. And pointers reduces the length of the program and its execution time also reduced if you are making use of the pointers. And pointers allows the C language to support dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so these are the different benefits of using the pointers in C language. So now this is the reflections part. So what is the output of the following program? So this is just very simple one. So any student can able to answer that. Yes. So what we are doing here? So we are declaring an integer variable and assigning values from 99 into x, and then we are storing the address of x into ptr. Then we are printing the value of x through this pointer. We are accessing the value of x through this pointer star ptr. So what it is going to print? It is going to print 99. Fine, right? So if you are able to answer this question, so you can go further. If you are unable to answer this question, please watch the video beginning from the beginning, so you can able to understand and you can easily answer this question. Okay, so thank you. So after completion of this session, students will able to develop the code in C language using the pointer concept. This is the lecture outcome. Then the summary of this today's session is that C provides us the feature of pointers, and pointer is a variable which is used to store the address of another variable. So we have used ampersand and the star. These are the two important operators associated with the pointers, which are used for accessing the address as well as to access the value stored at a memory location. Fine. So this is what the lecture level practice problem. So you are supposed to develop a C program by reading a variable and store its address into another pointer variable, print the variable value using the pointers. So this we already say concept we have discussed in the CDT itself. So please try to finish this program. Fine. So these are the further references. So please go through these references on this particular topic. Fine. So thank you one and all.